The Hornets are making a big mistake treating LaMelo Ball like this. So the Charlotte Hornets finally got something good this year when they were able to draft LaMelo Ball with their third overall pick in the 2020 NBA draft. LaMelo is a special player. I mean, he's the youngest player in NBA history to record a triple-double, and that says something about a player. It doesn't say everything, but it does say something. LaMelo Ball has the potential to be the Hornets' franchise player for years to come, and to do extraordinary things for the team. But they aren't exactly treating him right, and that's a big mistake that they're making. Hit the like button here, guys, subscribe if you're new, and welcome back to Hoop Reports. So the Charlotte Hornets in the last 6 years made it to the playoffs just once, and when they did, they lost in the first round. That's really surprising if you think about it, because the Eastern Conference wasn't that strong during the majority of those 6 years, and it just goes to show that the franchise needs someone to carry them. Using LeBron James and the Cavaliers as an example might be a stretch, because LeBron is arguably the GOAT, but Donovan Mitchell and the Jazz, Damian Lillard and the Trailblazers, Trae Young and the Hawks are excellent examples of teams developing their young raw talents. And what it allowed the teams to do is build around them an actual team that is capable of competing at the highest level, instead of just getting a bunch of parts together and hoping they'll just gel together. A talent like LaMelo isn't something that comes around every year as well. He's a 6'8" point guard who can lead a team. Currently for his team, he's second in assists, second in rebounds, tied for first in steals, and he's in double digits for scoring. Despite his stats and his potential, he's still coming off the bench, and there are 6 other players on the team that are averaging more minutes than he is. The Hornets coach recently said that, "If you're turning the ball over 5 times in 16 minutes, that ain't gonna cut it for me. If you're gonna do that on the offensive end, you better bring something defensively," which is true. If a player isn't efficient and is just turning the ball over, being a negative for the team, why put him as a starter? Why leave him in the game, right? I completely agree, but I also have to look at the pure numbers. In terms of a player who are playing more than 20 minutes per game for the Hornets, LaMelo ranks second in the player's efficiency rating, just behind Gordon Hayward, who the Hornets just signed for $120 million over 4 years. Something about that makes me feel LaMelo isn't being treated properly. You're second on the team in efficiency, but the coach is saying you're pretty much a negative on the team? Within the 2020 rookie class, LaMelo is currently ranked third in scoring, first in assists, first in rebounds, first in steals, and first in efficiency. The Hornets look like they're trying to win the battle right now, but lose the war. The battle is the day-to-day games, which they're actually losing as well. The war is the overall picture. This season, next season, and on forth. I'm not saying that they should tank this season to develop LaMelo. The best case scenario they have is sneaking into the playoffs while developing their talents. But that's not happening currently, because when you bench your second most efficient player, and who has the most potential, it's just not making a ton of sense. This next one might be a bit controversial, but hear me out. The Hornets' biggest mistake this season was probably the Gordon Hayward signing. It has nothing to do with his skill level. I mean, Hayward is nearly having a 50-40-90 season, and is the most efficient player on the team, and their highest scorer, so he's definitely a positive in that sense. The thing is though, even with Hayward on the roster, you're looking at a season where you either miss the playoffs, which is probable, and even if you make the playoffs, you're guaranteed a first-round exit by either the Bucks, 76ers, Nets, or Celtics, who will probably take the top 4 seeds. So already, you're not competing for a championship. Next off, Hayward is taking the most shots on the team at about 17 shots per game. It's all good and stuff if you look at his efficient shooting, but I feel like it's a stunt on the growth of the team overall. I mean, he's 30 years old, has a history of injuries, and in about 2 to 3 years will probably become a role player instead of a star. If you're a Hayward fan, don't get me wrong. I think when healthy, he's a fantastic player, and he should be on a championship level. But the Hornets should be in a building phase, and instead of signing someone who is in the latter stages of their career, they should have signed younger players that they could build upon. Those 17 shots and 34 minutes per game could have been given to their younger players like LaMelo to develop faster. You might say it's a big gamble for the organization to risk it on a 19-year-old. But remember, this is a guy who won the Rookie of the Year last year in the National Basketball League in Australia, and who's on track to win the Rookie of the Year award in the NBA. Either way, the chances of making it into the postseason is slim. But I'd much rather gamble on the path that has the bright future, rather than one where the best case scenario is a quick first-round exit. Let's take a look at the upside here, if they did take this gamble. Let's say in 2 to 3 years, LaMelo is averaging somewhere between 20 to 25 points per game, while averaging 8 rebounds and 8 assists per game, and is shooting a 50-35-80 from the field. Rozier at the time then would be in his prime. Miles Bridges would be a lot better. At this point, the Hornets would still have a ton of cash on hand and can easily acquire a few other players to fill up the roster. Perhaps they can even draft another star since LaMelo would still be on his rookie contract. That would be a team capable of competing for the top spot in the East and would be a serious contender. Wouldn't that be a better place to be, rather than in a position where you're fighting for a 7th or 8th seed in the conference, only to be ousted by a powerhouse when you arrive? Just for a comparison, let's take a look at a few other players who went through this process and became stars quickly. When Donovan Mitchell was drafted in 2017, he started in 71 games, averaged 33 minutes per game, and was developed. Mitchell is now on the cusp of becoming a superstar in the league. When Damian Lillard was drafted in 2012, he started all 82 games and averaged about 38 minutes per game. He was developed, and look where he is now. He's a superstar in this league, and even brought the Trailblazers to the Western Conference Finals just a few short years ago. Next off, Trae Young. Trae was drafted in 2018, started in all 81 games that he played, and look what happened. The following year after his rookie year, he averaged a little over 29 points and 9 assists per game. Development, guys, development. This is a big mistake the Hornets are currently making. Let's see what the fans are saying online about all this. Number 1, the coach is a fool. He said that this defense and turnovers need to improve, but how if he's not getting minutes? Number 2, LaMelo Ball and Miles played outstanding last night. Coach for Hornets is terrible. Start Melo and Miles. Number 3, Melo deserves more minutes. SMH. Still gonna win Roy. Number 4, LaMelo and Miles both need to be starting. Fire Borrego. Number 5, Melo needs to be primary ball handler. One thing though that is for real is LaMelo can play ball. There was a lot of chatter going on about whether he's a bust, and especially after his 0-point game. There was a lot of talk going on. Now, about a quarter of the way into the season, he's the frontrunner for the Rookie of the Year award. What do you think about all this situation with LaMelo Ball not starting and having limited minutes? Do you think he should get more minutes and start? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.